so many people and showed people a way. And I think this is, when we honor people, I particularly think about the pathfinders, the people who showed the way to so many others. There's a lot of artists out there who realized what they could do and what they could say because they heard the works of Patti Smith. She got together with Lenny Kaye almost 50 years ago, and they created something amazing. And the Horses album in particular, 1975, considered one of the great and most important rock albums of the entire history of rock and roll. Many wonderful songs, and I love many of them, but Ghost Dance is one that I am to this hour moved by. The first time I heard it gripped me, and every time I hear it again, grips me. That was from her album in 1978. Unbelievably powerful to me and among so many others. So she has done so much to light the way, and she has done it here in New York City and was a quintessential member of that musical blossoming that happened in the 70s in this city and beyond. So talk about someone who has enriched us and given us hope and brought along a whole generation of incredible and talented people. When we give the key to New York City, I always like to think of the people who just their impact just keeps growing and growing and growing. And that is the truth about Patti Smith. So it is my pleasure to present to you the key to New York City.
Thank you.
Feel free, sit down and talk to the people.
Thank you so much. It's awesome. Wow. I was thinking this morning when I learned of this honor, what have I done in New York City? What have I given New York City to earn this? But the most of all, I kept thinking of what New York City has given to me. I came here in 1967 from a rural area of South Jersey. I had just a few dollars in my pocket, nowhere to stay, no real prospects, but I came here to get a job and to see what I was made of. And I found that the city, with all of its diversities and possibilities, if you're willing to work, if you maintain your enthusiasm, you'll make it. And I got a job in a bookstore. I met so many wonderful friends. I evolved as an artist. I met Robert Mapplethorpe and Lenny and Sam Shepard and so many people who I evolved with. And I left New York City in 1979. I went to Detroit, married my husband, Fred Sonic Smith. I had 2 children. When he sadly passed away in 1994, I returned again to New York City with my children. Again, it was hard times. It was very hard times, probably the hardest time in my life. Again, with hard work and enthusiasm, the city embraced me again, gave me another chance to rebuild my life and continue to evolve as an artist. So I wish I could give New York City the key to me, because that's how I feel about our city. With all its challenges and difficulties, it remains, and I'm quite a traveler, the most diverse city to me in the world. The city that has so many possibilities, so much possibilities for growth, but also as we grow and again evolve as a city, I pray that we will also protect our city, its history, its historic streets and architecture, its community gardens, it's trees, all of these things we need because they are part of our identity as New Yorkers. Also, the Empire State Building, new skyscrapers, progress, but also the small things. That is part of our great city, the small things. So let's all do our best to protect those small things. And I just, this is so encouraging because it's been a difficult year for all of us, a difficult 2 years. But I always think of my parents and my grandparents. Our ancestors have gone through world wars, their own pandemic, the Great Depression, and they always forged through. They came out of it. They came out of it with hope. They brought us into the world, and we can do it too. We are navigating heavy seas, but we are all small or large captains, but we can do it. We can navigate our part of our little sea, our little area of difficulties. We can do it if we stay strong and grateful and remember our mothers and fathers and grandparents and what they had to do in order to bring us into the world and all of the strife that they had to surmount. We can do it too, because that's who we are. We're resilient people, and who's more resilient than a good old-fashioned New Yorker? So,
Beautiful.
thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Patti, I gotta ask you one thing. It was absolutely beautiful what you said. And I think there is, because it's been so hard and a shock to everyone these last years, I sometimes confront people who don't remember what you just said, you know, sort of lose a little bit of that perspective and feel a little too hopeless. And I understand it's hard. So I always, if someone's feeling hopeless, I feel empathy. But I want to remind them that, you know, whatever our challenge, there's something we can do. And of course, the message, people have the power. What do you say if someone's saying to you, oh, you know, just things are so bad, there's so much division, we can't do anything about it? What's your way of encouraging people? What's your message to people who are feeling hopeless?
I always start with the small things. Just as I was speaking of, you know, some people tend to our community gardens. Some people, they have a neighbor who is sick, will make soup, leave it outside on their stoop. I have seen all these little small gestures. You know, there's litter on the streets, they pick it up. Just doing what one can to reduce their own waste, to reduce their use of fossil fuel, any small gesture, and feel good about your small gestures, because we are who we are through our accomplishments, but all of our accomplishments. And I think it is a good thing to embrace our small accomplishments. If it's just, you know, helping someone who's having a it's the old story of helping the person cross the street. But these are wonderful things. And each good turn, each good deed that we do magnifies. And I think that's, if we don't have the capable of making big change ourselves, we can join others and be helpful. That's what People of the Power is about. It's about the power of the individual, but then the greater family, the greater power, which is all of us unifying and making change. Because only the people, artists, politicians, all of scientists, we can all inspire people, but it's the people who make change. And they make change by voting, by helping one another, by fighting for the things they believe in. So I would say, start with the small things. And, you know, and there's nothing more healing than a smile.
Amen.
And just find something every day to be enthusiastic about, to feel encouraged about, because that's part of physical and emotional mental healing is allowing joy to eclipse fear and doubt. So I know it's what my father always said. If you ask my father, and my father read the Bible, Socrates, all kinds of Jung, but when you would ask him, what's the most important thing in life? And he would always say the same thing: be happy. Because if you feel happy, it will spread like your blood in your veins. It will magnify your spirit.
I love it. And you have lived that. You have lived that. You have lived it for all, and we've all felt it. And in addition to Key of the City, we have a special salute because on Thursday, it's your 75th birthday.
Yes.
And today, Lenny?
Yep.
Today is Lenny's 75th birthday. So we have the incredibly elaborate presentation here. Come on, bring it on up. Bring it on up. There you go.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome.
Okay, now you each get a wish. We'll let you think about it for a second. Beautifully done. Look at that precision. Excellent. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And if you and Lenny would like to send a little musical message to the world, we will welcome it.
All right. Just thank you. I love this.
We love you.
I really, I know that we don't work to gather accolades, but I'm the kind of person that if I get one, I really love it. So, and I love the Key. It's beautiful, and it also, to receive this at 75, it just makes me look even more forward to the next 25 years.
I like it. Amen.
So Lenny and I wrote this song in 1978. It's really, the essence of it is the collective, a collective hope, and also the collective power of the people. It was written specifically to honor the Hopi Indian tribe, but it's also a message to all people. What is it, children, that falls from the sky? Tai, 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 manna from heaven, from the Most High, food from the Father. Tai, tai, we shall live again. Shall live again. Shake out the ghost dance. Give to your brother, give and take it. Tai, tai, hold its little feet. One foot extended, shake to the ground. One foot extended, worm turn around. We shall live again. We shall live again. Shake out the ghost dance. Stretch out your arms. host, dust of thy dust, and ghost of thy ghost. We are the tears that fall from your eyes, word of thy word, and cry of thy cry. We shall live again. We shall live again. Shake out the ghost dance. We live again. We shall live. What is it, Father, that floats in the night? What is it, Father, that moves through the light? What is it, Father? And tell me when, Father, will we live again? We shall live again. We shall live. We shall live again. We shall live. Shake out the ghost dance. Shake it out. Shake it out, everybody. Shake out the ghost dance. Woo!
Undoubtedly one of the coolest things that's ever happened at New York City Hall. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Brother, thank
Pleasure.
you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you, thank you. Unbelievable.
Well, I came here with nothing, just like when I first came to New York, and I'm leaving with a cupcake and the key. Thank you.
I love that. Oh my God. It just reminds me that that's what people used to do. They used to just play music in a room together. And that like takes you back through the ages. Amazing. Patti, Lenny, thank you so much. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, we shall live. I like the way Patti left it just as clear as that in the last verse. And I think, that song's moved me to the core for decades and decades. I can remember when I